there, this is Miss Doll, and today we are going to take a look at reviewing and demoing the activities on the Hour of Code website. We'll just look at one. First of all, I want to just start out by talking a little bit about the Hour of Code website. I know that I'm not incredibly familiar with it from my previous experiences, but I have to say, looking at it, I really can get behind what they're trying to do. I think they did a great job of making their activities relatable to students with stuff like ninjas, stuff like people from Adventure Time, recognizable characters, Star Wars, that students are going to want to have that buy-in with already. And so they're going to want to engage with. Also, I think it's great that they have options all the way up from pre-reader to high school, and beginner and comfortable options for how comfortable you are with coding. I think that's great because it'll sort the activities based on what selection you choose, which is a very developmentally appropriate way to organize instruction. So now I want to dive into the Hour of Code activity that I tried. It was here under grade 9 beginner because I haven't coded anything before except when I was trying out this application. Well, I guess you could call it game. And this was the one that I looked at. Code Like a Girl, a Storyteller. It's for grade 6 plus beginners, and the coding language is Python. So if we go over to our next tab, I have it pulled up here because I was looking at it earlier. This is the start screen that you get when you come into the activity. I really enjoy the tone of this whole activity game, whatever you'd like to call it. The woman who ran, I guess created it, Miriam, she talks to you just like she's sitting next to you. And I find that very relatable. She walks you through the process very explicitly, step by step. So, here we go. She starts out with try it out on her whole menu of what she's doing over here from beginning all the way to the end. And with the try it out function, she basically just shows you what your program's gonna look like by the end. And she just has you run it. So you go through and you type in what your name is, and you make the selection if you're a President Panda or Love Bug, and then you'll make your day selection. It'll make your story. That's the main goal of this activity, is to write code that'll end up with some sort of story, kind of like a Mad Lib. And it takes you through step by step. So first of all, Miriam has you import the random library. So she has you write your code over here, and then she'll have you go on to your next step. She really did a great job of chunking. Next, she tells you about functions. Before you do anything, she'll introduce what it is that you're doing right here, and she'll explain it. And then she'll have you do it, which I think is a very authentic way of telling, hey, can you do this? It's also very easy for a beginner and very explicit, which I found super helpful. She puts that green print out where you're writing your code. And so now I'm using the print function to welcome my user to my program that I've created. Make sure there's quotes, and then we run it. And you go on in this fashion, going on through the next, we learn about variables. And so we have that player input function introduced, which was very easy for me to understand the way that she explained it. And then you go on into different sections. Again, she's chunked it so that she'll have just section 1 here, then section 2 here with a different set of skills that you'll use. Right here, section 2. And then section 3, 4, 5, and then when you're done. So this is what the program looks like when you are done with it. And then you can run through it. So I'm just filling in, and there we go. I also like the little try this notes that she has embedded in her tutorial, if you will. I think that promotes learner choice and also just, self-advocacy. Like, you don't have to just do exactly what she says. You have a voice, which I like. I think that's a really good function, especially for older learners about code who aren't starting from so young, and they know a lot about like life and how to write in their own native language, but not in code. And so I think that's a really good way to validate them and where they're coming from, but also introduce them to this completely new skill set. So overall, I thought that this was a really great way to introduce people to coding. I really enjoyed it. I think I'm going to go back and actually finish it in my free time. So that'll be really neat. I found that it's really encouraging. She always puts in little things like have a blast, happy coding, or remember there's no such thing as perfect. And I think that it's really encouraging because I mean learning a new skill, as we all know as teachers, can be really frustrating for anybody. And she does a really good job of helping you through that learning process, even when she's not there. A few cons, I only could come up with 2 for this whole activity. One is that the window will save whatever code you've written, which you would think is a good thing. But if you're a learner and you've messed something up and you want to see what it is that was originally there, it's hard to get back there unless you want to Control Z the whole way back. But sometimes you've gone too far and you don't really want to take the time to get all the way back there. I wish when you opened a new window or went to a different section, it would restart. Also, the other con that I thought of with this is that sometimes she puts in hints. Like, let's see if I've been trying to find a window with a hint so I can talk about it. Here we go. This one says add your code here, so that one's fine. But sometimes she'll have what you need to do actually written out in the hint. See there. She says, player input, what's your name? What's your code? And then she writes it out for you. Like, I'm all for guiding me through the process, but I personally want to do it myself because then I know that I can do it. If I don't do it and you do it for me, I don't really see the learning going on. But overall, I really thought this was a great activity. I'm excited to see what other activities they have on code.org, and I'm thinking about incorporating some of them in my English language arts classroom because I can see some really neat connections, and I think it's a great 21st century skill that students should learn. Well, thank you for watching. This has been my screencast review and demo of the Hour of Code activity. Have a great day.